Okay, so once you have already registered an account on WordPress, all you have to do is to choose Add New Site. Now, making a web page on WordPress is very, very easy. Since we're only doing a basic and simple one, you don't need to follow through some complicated steps. So let's go ahead and click Start Now. Then here, we have to think of a good domain name. This is like the URL link. This is the link that you're going to share to your friends so that they can view your website. So let's think of one, Row Images. There you go. Now, there are instances that WordPress will give you some random names which you don't really like, because as you write it down here, you're not going to get exactly what you want because you're only using WordPress free domain. So you just have to bear with it, and you just have to keep trying until you come up with the right name. So for instance, I want to write Roland Images. So there's a combination of numbers and letters, and this is something that I don't like, but I can't do anything about it because this is for free. So I have to change to another one. Roland Photography. Then again, so I just have to keep on writing down domain name until WordPress gives me the ideal domain name. So let's go back and choose Row Images. There you go. So this looks okay to me. Select. It will take you to this payment page. Don't worry. Since you're not paying, choose this one. Start with a free site. And there you go. So the first thing that I'm going to do is click Update Homepage so that I can change the layout and the appearance of my web page. Click this. Look at the right panel, choose Change Layout. So this is where I can change the appearance of my web pages. Right here on the left panel, I can see a variety of free templates, and all I have to do is to choose one that suits my needs. So say I want to come up with a portfolio, an online portfolio where I can showcase my works, then I'll just have to choose Portfolio Pages. Click here to see what it looks like. So we can have a preview of each template that WordPress offers here. So, okay, this one looks good. So I'm going to go for this. Choose Use Portfolio Layout, which can be seen at the right top corner. And then we can start editing the contents. Now, take note that working on WordPress is working on blocks, meaning to say that every element that you see here is actually called a block. This is a header block. This is a heading block, another heading block, a paragraph block, image or gallery block, paragraph block, and so on. So just remember that every element here is represented by a block. So let's go ahead and change this one to Roland Portfolio. And here we can briefly write something about this portfolio and about myself. I'm an ESL teacher and a visual storyteller. A few more things. I like doing, or I like to learn new skills like making websites on WordPress. And then we got here a project name. So let's think of it like film photographs. And a description of the project. These are photos taken with my film camera. So again, notice that every element, just like this, the paragraph is represented by a block like this. Now looking at this part, this block, you notice that the S is on the third line. We want the S and the word photograph to be in one line. So what we could possibly do here is to make the font smaller. Move on to the right panel, you will see here heading settings. H1 down to H6. These allows you to change the font size of your headings, not the paragraph. So headings and paragraph are two totally different elements on a web page. So for your heading, just like the title, you could go from H1 to H6. So let's find out what it looks like as we play along with these values. H1, so it becomes really big. 2, 3. Oh, there you go. What about H5? H6. So you notice that as the value goes higher, the font becomes smaller. So let's go ahead and choose H4. Now for this one, you can actually choose your text settings. For instance, we can highlight this. You don't need to highlight the text actually because this is in a form of block. So we choose medium, there you go, or huge. Whoa, now let's go for small. Okay. So now we're done with the heading here, which is the title of your project, and a very short description. Now we're going to change the content of this gallery block. Now these are not my photos. This came with the default template. So I'm going to remove this block, remove block. So how did I do that? Okay, click on the block here. You see this 3-dot button, choose this, remove block. There you go, it's gone. Add block. So every time you want to add an element, it's like adding a block. So all you have to do is to look for the plus icon that you see here. If you want to add an element, look for the plus icon. So let's see, we got here, add block. There you go. Now this one, I want some images, so we're going to choose image. Okay, but the thing about image is you can only upload one image. I want to add more images, more than one image. So let's choose gallery. Since we are actually showcasing our works here, or my work, I'm going to choose gallery. Okay, then upload from my computer. Now, one second. The difference between upload and media library is if you have some images or files saved on WordPress and you want to access them and reuse them, choose media library. Otherwise, you can upload it directly from your laptop or from your computer. So since I don't have anything on WordPress, I'll choose upload. Then look for the source folder. There you go. Then let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there you go. So WordPress automatically arranges the layout for you. As you move on to the right panel, you would see here the number of columns. By default, it is set at 3. Now, for instance, you don't see this panel here. Let's close this one. And you want to reorganize or rearrange the layout. All you have to do is to, again, look for this 3-dot button, choose this, show block settings. There you go. So let's play along the values of the columns here and find out what it looks like. From 1, so it means that they are laid out on top of the other. And I don't like this because it's going to be a very long scrolling for the viewers. 2, 3, the one that we just had, 4, 5, 10 until 7. Okay, now let's choose 3. Now let's say I find it a little bit boring. The layout seems boring here, so all I have to do is to change the style. And for me to do that, I have to click this and then choose Style Gallery. So let's see what happens when I choose this one. So click on the white space so that you will see what it looks like. So this is what the tiled style looks like. It's so different from what you saw earlier. Now I want to change the arrangement of the tiles. So I choose block right over here, block. Okay, no block selected, which means no block is in highlights. So I'm going to click this gallery block. And now you see here, pull down styles. And there you have 4 more options. So currently we're using tiled mosaic, circles. Now let's do it into 4 columns. There you go. Square tiles and tiled columns. So again, all I have to do is to pull down the styles here and I can choose what style I want. Okay, let's choose this one, square tiles. 4 columns, rounded corners. There you go. So this is a very basic and simple web page which you can use to showcase your portfolio or your works. So before we have a look at the preview, let's first save this. Update. And right over here, you will see view page. Click this one. Then this is a preview of your portfolio. Now you notice that there are still some few things which needs to be edited, such as this unwanted section and your site title. So what we're gonna do here is dismiss because we don't want to launch it yet. So click dismiss. Hit the back button of your browser and it will take you back to the editing mode. So we saw this earlier, so all we have to do is to remove this block. Oops. Remove block. Remove block. So we just have to remove all the elements or all the blocks that we don't want to appear. Okay, so I guess we have already removed all the blocks that we don't want. Update, which means save. Hit on the back button of WordPress, not the browser. So this is your browser's button and this is the WordPress button. So don't get confused. So this is already pulled down. This is what it looks like when it's pulled up. So let's pull it down again. Click pages and you will see all the pages that you have on your website. So you have here Roland portfolio. This is the one that I just created. I'm going to click this. Ignore this one. Click preview. Visit site right over here. So now we don't see the unwanted elements anymore. Now the edit here is just for the edit mode. So since we haven't launched it yet, this one will appear. But once we launch it, this edit link will disappear. Okay. Then what I'm going to do next is launch site. So since I'm already done here, I'm happy with it. I'm going to click launch site. It takes you to this page again. Ignore this one. Just go and click skip purchase. Takes you back again to the payment page. Since you don't need to pay, you want to do it for free. So click continue with your free one. There you go. Now let's have a look. View site. So you still see this thing, site title. So all you have to do is to go back to this page. Okay. Click customize. So click this one. And you see here, you can change it to Roland, Roland images. Save changes. Okay, so you notice that the site title has been changed to Roland images, so we're good to go. Okay, let's close this since we have already saved it. You still have this one open, so let's refresh it. And done. Now let's take a look at this in another browser, Chrome. Now, since I'm logged into the WordPress here, you can still see the edit. So if you're not logged into your WordPress account, you're not going to see this edit link. So let's go ahead and log out from WordPress. I'm going to log out. Here, log out. Refresh. So now you don't see the edit link anymore because I have already logged out from WordPress. So this is how easy for you to make a website that showcases your portfolio.